pull-throughs. We're going to set a rope handle on a low cable, and we're going to stand up nice and tall, reach through the legs with straight arms, and then stand up, squeezing the glutes. We cue soft knees on this exercise, reaching through the legs, and standing tall at the top. This tends to be an exercise that is fantastic to work on a hip hinging pattern because it's very friendly on the low back due to the direction of the loading. We cue those soft knees, reaching, and squeezing the butt at the top. Eccentric glute ham raises. These require a specialized glute ham raise bench. You're going to push up to the top and then lower yourself down, emphasizing the lowering portion of this movement to get stronger. You want to try and keep the hips and shoulders in as straight a line as possible as you lower yourself, and then give yourself assistance back up to the top. Notice that the chin is tucked and we're squeezing the glutes to prevent excessive hyperextension of the lumbar spine. Glute ham raises. We're going to show two versions of this exercise. And mind you, my form is not perfect in the video here, but you'll get to see a little bit of mistake. First version is where we do a back extension up into the full glute ham raise. The back comes up, gets in line with the hips, and then we curl ourselves up, pressing the toes into the toe plate, squeezing the glutes, and tucking the chin. Then the other version is where we're going to keep the hips and shoulders in alignment in a parallel position and then raise up in the top of the glute ham raise doing the leg curl portion. Again, squeezing the glutes and tucking the chin. You'll notice actually in the video, it's a good teaching point. My butt tends to shoot back a little bit here. This tends to be a hard exercise for me. You want the shoulders to lead on the way up. Romanian deadlifts. These go by many names. We still use the traditional Romanian deadlift name. This is just a deadlift starting from the top and not actually a true deadlift in the sense that the weight doesn't touch the floor. We are going to begin by getting the bar real close to the legs. We cue our clients to think of lowering the bar like they're shaving the legs if they happen to have any. We're going to push the butt back with the legs locked, bent, basically at that 20-degree angle or so with knee flexion. We don't want the knees pushing forward here. We're pushing the butt back, and that's how we're lowering the bar with the chest stuck out, maintaining a neutral lumbar spine. The rack deadlift is another progression that we'll use. We're going to add some more knee flexion to our Romanian deadlift here. So we'll start the bar somewhere between mid-shin and bottom of the knee, depending on the client flexibility limits. It's a nice little progression in working down towards the floor as someone's mobility allows. Same cues apply as the Romanian deadlift. We're sticking the chest up, keeping the bar close. The lumbar spine is locked, and the chest is up. We're pushing the floor away through the heels as we stand, squeezing the glutes so we don't hyperextend the lumbar spine. And we go down the same way we came up. Conventional deadlifts. We're going to take a grip outside the legs. Feet are about hip width apart. And we're going to get real close to the bar. So the bar is right over the middle of the foot, fairly close to the shins. And then we're going to stand up by pushing the feet through the floor, keeping the bar nice and close, squeezing the glutes at the top while we keep the chest stuck out the entire time. Real important to maintain that neutral position of the lumbar spine. Key cue that helps here is really thinking about sticking the chest out. Clients will frequently set up with their hips either too low or too high. We want them set in a sweet spot where they're able to maintain perfect lumbar extension. Snatch grip deadlifts. All this is simply a wide grip deadlift. A very simple method to determine your grip width is to grab a dowel rod and then grab the bar so that your elbows form a 90-degree angle and your shoulders form a 90-degree angle, almost like a midpoint of an upright, wide grip upright row. That distance, measured from index finger to index finger, is the distance you should use for the snatch grip deadlift. You're going to grasp the bar with that wide grip. Typically for males, it's index finger on the ring or pretty close to it. Your hips are going to be a little bit lower here. The key difference with this and a regular conventional deadlift is that you're pulling the bar over a greater distance, which makes it a great choice from a muscle building standpoint.
So we have our hip dominant move here, which is our kettlebell deadlift. So all the other properties apply here with any other conventional deadlift. This is just a different tool that we're implementing. Now notice that the kettlebell is being placed in the middle of the shoe here, just as we would like the weight distribution of a barbell. So again, it's our same setup here. Chest up, shoulders back, Nice tight core, and then we initiate that movement through the heels. Chest up, shoulders back, hips and shoulders rise at the same time. The weight comes to a complete stop. Reset the body, lock the trunk in, and drive the heels into the floor and push the earth away from you as you come up. Every time you're resetting.
Sumo deadlifts. This is a version of the deadlift where we're going to place the feet out fairly wide, wider than shoulder width, and then grab the bar with the hands inside the knees and inside the legs. We're going to extend the low back so we keep the chest up, and then do our same cue of pushing the floor away. You don't want to get the hips too high or too low here. Most people have a tendency to bring their hips way too low on this version. It's a good variation because it's simple to teach proper lumbar spine positioning. It's also a little more of the natural way that we pick things up off the floor. The trap bar deadlift is kind of a hybrid exercise between knee and hip dominant exercises. It's a real easy version to teach since the bar is not out in front of your knees. You don't have to get around your knees to stand up with this at all. So it's real easy to teach the proper lumbar spine position on deadlifts with this. You want to be careful of not getting the hips too low when trying to squat the weight up. The same cues apply. We're going to keep the chest up, lumbar spine extended, and push the feet through the floor.